Yo, what is going on, NPL fans? This is your new commissioner of NPL Majors for Season 9, Trev CL, and today I am very excited to be bringing you guys the application for not only NPL Majors Season 9, but also Minors Season 6. So, it has been a little bit since you guys have heard from us, whether that be on YouTube or, if you follow us on Twitter or you've been following the Twitter. About a week ago, I said that there would be an announcement for an application, and here we are today for this application. So it took a little while because we had to make sure everything internally was fine before we introduced new coaches into the system. Obviously, Jolt stepped down as commissioner and appointed me, so I had to make sure that everything was running smoothly before I felt that I could launch this application, and I think that everything is going fine right now. At least enough to the point to where, we can introduce new people into the server and into the league. So I'm just going to quickly run through this as, quick as I can. This is actually, I've got to admit, I've been trying to record this a lot, and a lot of these have lasted a little bit too long, so I'm going to try and speed run through this as fast as I can. So going off, first we have a description. You can kind of read about the description, but I basically talk about how we've been going for a long time, some returning coaches, whether it be veterans or some newcomers last season, and including our major champ Aster and our minors champ Techno. I talk about a little bit about the Discord, because we usually touch on the league, but we don't really touch on the Discord too much. So there's some information right there. So when you go to apply, you can read it, or you can pause the video and read it. Either way works. I don't really care. So it doesn't really matter as long as you read the description to kind of get a feel for the league. Then good on you. So next, going into the actual questions, we want to know a little bit about yourself. We don't want to. We try not to invite just random strangers. We want to try and get to know people a little bit before we actually invite them into the league. So this is kind of what this is about. So tell us a couple facts about yourself. Anything. You don't have to make it too personal. It can be just something that maybe everybody in your real life knows about you. So just anything you feel, a couple facts there is good. What are your interests outside of Pokemon? So any sports, any video games you like, any hobbies you have. Again, nothing. Doesn't have to be anything too personal. Just anything you feel comfortable putting. So next is the information. So obviously the channel link. If you're starting a new channel soon, like if you haven't really done YouTube and you're thinking about starting a new channel, just put whatever channel you're gonna put there, linked below. So next we have a Twitter. So if you're looking at this through the YouTube video here and not through the Twitter application, then the Twitter link, then you can just put your Twitter link to your profile. And if you don't have one, then you don't have to obviously have one, but if you want to make one, that'd be good, because we do like to give recognition to our coaches on Twitter. So if you really want to get recognition, if you make it into the league, then I would make a Twitter, and if you already have a Twitter, then you can just put that link down below. Next is the most important step of all, is your Discord username and number. This is our number one way of contacting you guys, whether it's to let you know you made it into the next part of the application process, or whether you made it into the league, or any problems maybe with your application. Maybe you answered a question wrong, or we're not quite sure about something. So this is the best way for us to contact you, and you're going to need one eventually anyway, because once you get into the league, to be in the league, you have to be in the server. So there's that. So next we have some questions about draft format itself. So what makes you interested, whether it's what got you into it, what keeps you going, stuff like that. Next we want to know what your ideal draft chat is like, whether it's if it's one that's super active, we're having fun, kind of memeing around, or if you like it to be a little bit more serious. So we want to know that information. It doesn't have to be a super long explanation of what you like it to be. You can just something short is fine. Whatever, as long as we can get an idea of what your ideal draft league chat is like, that is good enough for me. What is your favorite aspect of your existing league? So again, it kind of goes off the chat, but now it's kind of more about the league itself. Any particular rules about the league, anything you like from the league, basically. Whether there's a rule about the league or the server, it's something about the league itself, like you like how they did their draft, or just anything. And if you haven't been in a league before, then you can say your favorite thing from your Pokemon Discord if you've been in a Pokemon Discord as well. What experience you have in draft format? So basically just put like your overall record, whether that's from Gen 6 or Gen 7 or overall, and then list every league, or at least most of the leagues, the most notable leagues you've been a part of. We prefer every league, and honestly, if you want to list the individual records for those leagues as well, feel free. But what I really want to see is, kind of like the overall record and then the leagues that you've been a part of. And again, if you've been in like 20 leagues, like I know we have some people that really like to play League, then maybe, and you don't want to put every single one of them, you can just put the most notable ones that you think are obviously the most notable. Scrolling down a little bit more, right? Oh, all right, there we go. Next, we want you to list a draft league game where you feel you played well, whether you ended up winning or losing. So, it doesn't have to be a win, it doesn't have to be a loss, just a game where you think you played well, and then explain what you did well in preparation and with your plays. Pretty simple right there. Next is what is your ideal day to play your league games, whether it's a weekend day, whether it's a weekday, a specific day, and then list a reason why it's this day that you prefer, whether it be because of personal reasons, like you're just comfortable, like maybe there are some days where you just feel really good about Pokemon, and then obviously it could also be because of school and work that this is the best day for you. So again, pretty simple. These are mostly pretty simple questions that some should take about 3 to 4 minutes each to answer, with some of them taking a little longer to gather up the data. So let's see, our next one is major accomplishments in the standard Smogon tiers. Now obviously we want you guys, we want to know about your draft league experiences more, but this is also a pretty good indicator if you haven't necessarily been in a league before, or have been in a lot of leagues. We can, if usually most of the time, if you're good in the standard tiers, you're going to be at least halfway decent in draft league. And then also if you've been in a lot of draft league as well, we can kind of take the two and get a rough idea of what kind of battler you are. So that's why we asked that question. This is for you guys who are currently not uploading on a YouTube channel. We basically want you guys to say, hey, I am willing to upload on a week-by-week basis, because that's one thing we really look for. It's not just the battling, it's not just the interactions in the chat. We want a healthy community. We want a good amount of skill in our league, but we also want you guys, a part of our league is uploading. So for you guys that have existing channels, obviously we can kind of tell based off your upload schedule if you'll be reliable at uploading. But if you are kind of starting off the YouTube, we just kind of want to know, hey, is this going to be a feasible thing that you can do on a week-to-week basis? So that's that question. And then we're kind of reaching the end of the application here. So a couple questions about your availability for the next couple months. So we do have a second part of the application process. It's going to be it's a tournament that's going to take place throughout October and some of November. So if you can be mostly available during that time, then you can check yes. If you don't think you're going to be available at all during that time, then unfortunately you have to click no, and that probably is not the league for you at the moment, because this tournament is going to be a huge part of the application process. And if you just send an application and then you're not able to take place in the tournament, I can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to make it into the league, just because we want to see up front how good of a battler you are. This will kind of tell us about your skill. So this application overall is mostly about kind of like how your interactions in a community, in a chat, and how we think you could fit in. And then the tournament is to obviously display your skill. So that's kind of what that's about. And then the season is going to take place starting in January and then ending sometime in May. So if this is a period where you think you can reliably battle and upload, maybe not necessarily like be super active in the chat, but if you can reliably upload and battle during this time, then feel free to click yes. And again, if this is a no question for you, then there's plenty of other leagues that are accepting applications as well, even currently. So if this time frame doesn't work for you, then I know there are definitely other options out there. So hopefully you guys are available for these 2 dates, but if you're not quite available, then I'm sorry, and I hope next time that will be more available to you, or your availability will be a little bit more open. So final 2 questions. What do you think makes you stand out from the other applicants? We don't want just the same application over and over and over. We want our applications to be unique. So if you think there's something unique about you that no other applicant has, then you can put that down below. And then finally, we have any additional comments. So you can put nothing, it's not required. So if you want to say thanks for the application, thanks for letting me apply, something like that, that's cool. If you don't want to put anything, that's cool. If you want to just put something random, maybe another fact about yourself, anything is cool in my book. So I actually got through this pretty quickly, so I hope you guys are looking forward to applying. Again, it's a little bit longer of an application than usual, even from our own standards. It's a good amount longer than our applications in the past, but we're really looking to not only build skill, but also really build a community, and maybe even one day a family, to where we can interact with each other on a daily basis and have a lot of fun. So that's kind of why there's a lot of questions in here about your personal, like how would you act in a server, or what's your ideal server like, stuff like that. So I hope you guys send out those applications. I'm hoping that the tournament will even be bigger and better than the last tournament we did, which was back during Minor Season 3. So that was a pretty fun time. We had, there was a lot of hype around the NPL at that time, and I think we had a pretty good explosion around then of fans. So hopefully this time this is going to be even bigger and better, and the NPL can return to a really strong form that we've had in the past. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you are super interested in applying, then the application link will be either on Twitter or in the description below, so you can check it out through either of those sources. And that's about it. So there will be another video explaining some of the, we'll have some interviews about some of our new leadership, because there was a decent change of leadership, as obviously Joel stepped down and I'm the new commissioner, but there were some other leadership changes. So we'll make sure to kind of get that out to you, so you kind of know what's going on with that. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you guys for watching, and peace.